Hi, everybody, and welcome to hopefully what is a riveting edition of AIWF Ringside Wrestling. I am Mad Matt Carter, being joined by Hall of Famer and Chief Operating Officer and everything else in the AIWF. One Rick Diesel is here. Brian and Reagan not going to be able to join us as they are on a field trip to the last animatronic not showbiz pizza, Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, one of the last, and I have not been in there in so many years. They still had the animatronics when I was in there, probably.
They did one night at Freddy's.
Yeah. I've seen that Freddy's movie. I hadn't watched that movie yet. It's a horror movie, so Jason can't watch it.
I can't remember if I have. But I don't have time to watch movies.
Yeah.
I try to watch like TV series. Whenever I decide to sit down and have a few minutes to watch TV, I try to watch TV series because I can get by them quicker.
Mm-hmm.
And I can, it's like I watch one, then I go off and do something else for a while, and then I come back and watch another one.
Yeah.
With a movie, I got to dedicate 2 hours of my day to that. And that's just hard for me to do.
Mm-hmm. But you did see Landman, though, right?
God, yeah.
Yeah, what a brilliant show, huh?
God, it's so good. That's the best thing Billy Bob Thornton has ever done.
You think so?
I do.
I don't know, man. He did real good in Bad Santa. I thought he was pretty good in that. But yeah, you might be right. This character had a lot more depth than anything.
Yes, I mean, Bad Santa, he's just a drunk dude in a Santa outfit. You know what I'm saying? Now the one he did with I can't remember the dude's name, where they were pushing 10, I think is what it was, where they was the air traffic controllers. He was decent in that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Landman, it was just he was everything. Every emotion he could have, he had in that show.
Yeah.
So
especially his dealings with the truck ride with his daughter, where she was getting into details about her life, the details of her life, and he just screamed at her, stop.
Yeah, you actually, as a father of daughters, I related to that, because they'll talk to you about things as they're growing up that you don't want to hear.
Yeah. Is she referring? What was the guy when he met his daughter? The guy that he lives with, the lawyer that lives with him. It said,
"Yeah,
is she calling you daddy?" And what did he say?
Biblical sense or something?
Something like that. And he goes, "No, that's my daughter." And he goes, "I can see why you smoke 2 packs a day." And he's just sitting there like, "Yeah."
Oh, good show.
Yeah, man.
And the Stallone show, Tulsa King's pretty good. You watched that?
No, I hadn't.
That's pretty good. I mean,
it looks good. I'm afraid I'm gonna get hooked on it if I start watching.
He's Stallone. He'll always be Stallone. He's a one-dimensional character in everything he plays, but it's the role. Other than Rocky, it's the role that he has fit into better than anything.
Really?
You just look at him and you think gangster.
Yeah.
The way he talks, the way he looks, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But Stallone's brilliant, man. I don't give a damn what anybody says, You
wouldn't know it by listening to him, but
no,
yeah.
But he is brilliant. He's a hell of a writer. I mean, he wrote and they produced Rocky on a shoestring budget and shot it in 30 days. 30 days. So that's impressive. All right. So I guess people want us to talk about wrestling.
Yeah. Well, boxing's close. It's all in a ring.
Yeah. And boxing's usually meddled with by gangsters, so it all ties together, right? So anyway, the anniversary show happened last weekend, and Rick Diesel, I mean, it's big 33 anniversary. We got a new women's world champion. A lot of things happened at that show.
It was an interesting show. New world TV champion, Buzz Bloodsaw. It was 2 days of, and I don't know if you've seen, Matt, but the crowd on night one, for some reason, they come out for this anniversary show.
Yeah.
And the crowd on night two wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But night one was, the place had people everywhere. Great matches. I think in total for the 2 days is like 28 matches.
Oh, good Lord.
Lord, yes. And that was with making like 4-way tag matches and battle royals and all this stuff, because people come from everywhere. The guy who's in charge of AIWF Canada was there.
Yes.
AIWF Northeast was there, and my new friend, and I've done this on every podcast I've been on since then. Is the I cannot say his name, and I don't care how many times Matt Classic types it out, I still can't pronounce it. But he's the president of AIWF Africa.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to take him down to Winston to catch a bus because for some reason he was riding a bus to Florida to get on a plane. But anyway, I picked him up and took him down there, and we talked a lot while I was down there. And he gave me a gift, and I've shown this a lot too. But I want you to see it, Matt. He brought this to me, and it's tickled me to death. You see this? That's the logo for the 33rd anniversary T-shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, which is really cool. See all the AIWF at the top? I'm assuming he had this made in Africa. So, but the best part of this shirt is this right here.
Oh, that is beautiful.
Is that not amazing?
Yeah. What country in Africa was he from?
I think Nigeria.
Yeah.
Because he's real good friends with the president of Nigeria.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Well, there's a couple guys in WWE now. I mean, in NXT from Nigeria. The champion, Obafemi, he's from Nigeria. And then they're bringing the X Division champion from TNA over and to challenge him on Tuesday night at Madison Square Garden. And he's from Nigeria as well. So Nigeria churning out some wrestlers. A lot of wrestlers.
Well, we also had a guy from Haiti. Mm-hmm. And he showed me this right here. He carries this around in a book with him, Matt, and shows it to everybody. I don't know if 2017. See if I can get it to where it don't have a lot of glare on it here. There it is.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
okay.
Ty Tyson with hair and almost zero body fat.
Yeah.
Versus the African champion. They had come through to the anniversary show in 2017. Wow. And that guy carries a picture of that around in a book with him everywhere he goes. It has all his memories from wrestling in it.
Uh-huh.
And that picture is in that book. And I took a picture of it when he was getting out of my truck. So he's my new friend, man.
That's crazy.
Great
man.
guy.
Yeah, and he came all the way here from Africa, man. That's halfway around the planet. It's not a short flight.
No.
So
I think he'd been over here for several days. He'd done some stuff up north and in Florida, and then he come to the anniversary show. Oh, and was another picture that I know. This is from the show. See if I can get this up here. That is a banner. Come on now.
I can kind of see it.
It's a banner that has AIWF and AIWF Africa on it. But it also had the African flags on each side of it. It's hanging up at the building.
That's all right.
They represented at the anniversary show this year. Africa did, man. So
I don't know, but when I listen to people from Africa speak English, they speak the King's English over there. And they speak it so, I don't know about if it's the case with this guy, but the people from Africa that I've met will speak English so eloquently that it makes me feel stupid. That they speak my language better than I do, and usually they're bilingual or know 2 or 3 different languages, and so I don't know if that's what he felt, but
I had a hard time understanding a lot of the things that he said, but we worked through it in that ride from Mount Airy to Winston-Salem.
So,
but it was really good, and I sit and think about that, Matt. And I don't know if you've seen that picture I posted on social media of me, Matt Classic, the guy from Canada, the guy from Africa, and the guy from the Northeast.
Yeah,
but you remember, Matt? I know you remember this because you come around not long. I mean, AIW been around 4 or 5 years, I guess, when you come.
Mm-hmm.
And back then, we was just one company buzzing around, the Mid-Atlantic area. We'd run 4 states: North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, and Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit back and I think about this thing. That's like I was telling Hot Rod on that podcast I done the other day. When I done my very first show in 1992, I never even dreamed that I'd run another show after that. And now here, 33 years later, there's 150 promotions in 49 countries that recognize the AIWF.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people, and you know, because you've been there for most of this, you know what we've went through, the haters and the people who just wants us to go away.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, for some reason, there's been a lot of people that like to compare themselves to us. And for some reason, it's always, I guess, because of me.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this is where it started. They always like to zero in on here, us here at the Mid Atlantic. And I realized over this past weekend at the anniversary show that I never have to worry about anybody ever accomplishing anything more. Anybody who's ever, talked trash about us or come at us or whatever, I never have to worry about any of them people in my lifetime accomplishing anywhere near what we've accomplished with AIWF.
Right. I mean, it's so big now, I can't even wrap my head around it.
I know.
And it's why when you presented the idea with Matt Classic coming on here maybe once a month and kind of updating us on what was going on in the world titles, that would be great. Because I gave up trying to keep up with it several years ago, and I tried,
But he does.
yeah, I know.
He told me that he could try to come on, and we'll have to hold his feet to the fire on this because he's busy with it too.
Yeah.
But he said he'd like to come on every 4 to 6 weeks. I would count on 6 more than 4, but we might, we'll give him that leeway. But he said he'd like to come on and update everybody on the titles and the champions all over the world, because we got titles in Europe and Mexico and now Asia. Because there's the AIWF All Asia champion.
What country does that? I mean, what country does the promotion in Asia operate out of? Do you know?
I think it's China, Japan, the Koreas, Vietnam. I'm not really sure, but it's all Asia champion. So I think it's mostly like China, Japan, so around it. I think it's based in China.
Okay.
So, but I mean, you just sit and think about it. Because like I said, a lot of people, especially around here, when they talk about the AIWF, they think about just this little group that runs at Veterans Park in Mount Airy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what they think they're in competition with. And they're not.
Mm-mm. No.
When you're in competition, if you think for a second you're in competition with AIWF, then it's not just Mount Airy, North Carolina. It's 150 promotions in 49 countries all over the world.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I like to brag about that.
Hey, go ahead. I mean,
Because you remember, Matt, back when we'd go to Bassett Community Center one week and Mount Airy one week, Town one week, and
Elkin,
Reedsville, and Bradshaw, West Virginia, or Johnson City, Tennessee, or Martinsville, Virginia. I mean, it's just that was us back then, and it has just exploded. And I give Matt Classic all the credit for that because he has worked so hard. So everybody sees Matt Classic, just shake his hand, and say thank you for your contribution to what the AIWF has become.
Yeah. I think Matt Classics, helped raise all those promotions. He had a couple of one or two maybe failed marriages because of it. All the time he spends on wrestling, I'm just kidding. I think maybe it was just one, but but I mean, you're right. He does bust his ass, and it is hard to get him tied down. But if we get it, and he could come on just like he did last time before the anniversary show, come on for like 5 minutes, and just give us a quick rundown and jump off. I mean, that's not hard. Same invite to any of the wrestlers out there. I'm getting where I don't send the invite to as many people anymore because, nobody ever comes on except me, you, Brian, and Reagan. So,
I'm not as frequent as I used to be, just because of so much stuff. Because it's getting the season now to where my days are just wide open.
Oh yeah, I know. But all those businesses you're running,
but I had to push things away today because I didn't want you to hang out. I didn't want to leave you hanging here by yourself.
Well, if we would have hang here by myself, I'd have talked about Cody Rhodes, John Cena. I'd have played the videos you sent me, read the ads, and got the hell out of here. So,
we'll stretch it out a little bit longer with this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And speaking of reading ads, I guess I need to start with that. Start on that, and tell you all about I have not updated the slide, so let's do this. Let me go to T's Creations 22, her website, and we can just look at stuff in the website.
I need to get you information on my gimmick table too.
Yeah, you were telling me about that, but she's got her she's got her Easter gimmick up over. She's getting a 404 error. Hang on now. I'm not gonna put it on the screen until I get the error message off.
She has changed the site around, but she started my gimmick table now, and we've got several wrestlers on there.
Okay.
That the Buddy Flowers stuff is just going crazy. We sent Buddy Flowers t-shirts to Texas the other day.
Wow. How do I need to get to that? What do I need to type in?
I'll have to ask her and get back with you on that. I know it's mygimmickTable.com on Shopify or something like that.
Oh, it's on Shopify. Okay.
I think so.
All right. Well, let's try this then. Let's go to Shopify. This is the first time I've ever been to Shopify on this computer, as you can see. I don't want to log in. I need to find search. Where's the search tab?
Well, you'd think they'd have a search it bar easier to find.
Yeah, I don't want to start a free trial. I don't need your help. I'm looking for somebody on your no.
I do not know.
Well, neither. I need to get out of this. Oh well. We'll figure it out and get back to you on that. But you can see all these stuff she's got. She's got Happy Easter up there. This is her Easter lineup, I guess.
She's getting ready for summer.
Deal with it. I love that. I'm a pickle man. Love it. Love it. I know you hate them though, don't you?
I can't. I can't. And there's a interesting story behind that too. So,
well, anyway, and we'll probably get you to tell it in the next segment then, because I'm curious. But as you can see, this is their spring collection, just right on time for Easter. And of course, they can do custom made t-shirts, sweatshirts, hoodies. You know, they do tumblers. They got all kinds of stuff on here. So it's not just what you see on the website. If you can dream it up in your head, they can probably. There it goes back to that. There's the homepage again. And all the different stuff there. I was looking for accessories, but I don't
know. She was doing these glass cups, but she's getting away from that because they're so hard to ship without breaking.
Right.
So yeah, I think that's going away, which I'm very glad.
Okay. Well, yeah. There's different ways to search. So yeah, she has changed this thing around, but teascreations22.com to get you started. And you can chat them and let's see what happens here. Is this an AI or does it actually go to her?
I don't know. That's the first time I've ever seen this.
Let's find out.
Wouldn't it be funny if it went right to her?
Don't start sending me emails, people.
I don't think she does that many promotions anyhow.
Okay. Well, no. I was telling the viewing public out there, please don't start sending me emails.
Oh, yeah, your email popped up. You had to get rid of that quick. I got you.
Yep. Let's see what happens. So watch her call me in the middle of the night and be like, what are you doing on my website, Matt Carter? Be like, we're demonstrating it to the viewing public. But anyway, teascreations22.com. You can find them on Shopify. Hopefully you have an easier time of it than I do. And we'll find out more information about the My Gimmick table at Shopify and show you where you can get your Buddy Flowers t-shirt. So you might be able to do something like this, though. You could go to your Google machine, Buddy Flowers t-shirt. Flower Buddy merchandise. No. Let's see this. Let's try this. Buddy Flowers wrestler. There's his Instagram.
Yeah, I don't see it.
There's one. But yeah, that's the Playboy's Buddy Rose. Sure, yeah. No, we're gonna have to.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get her to give us some more information on that.
Hey, look, there's the video where we played the video of Buddy Flowers before Deal with the Steel on the Google search. Thank y'all for all the support for the YouTube channels. By the way, we've got two of them: AIWF Ringside Wrestling and AIWF. What is it? Mid Atlantic. And so
The
check out.
YouTube AIWF Network.
Yeah,
Okay.
AIWF Network. Maybe I hit my head harder the other night than I thought. I don't know. But anyways, so come check us out on YouTube. We appreciate it. You know, hit the like, subscribe. You're seeing this show on YouTube and Facebook. So, but yeah, T's Creations, check them out. They're great. And as soon as we find out more on that Shopify thing for you, we will. Let me tell you about Big Daddy's food truck here. It's a food truck based in the Mount Airy area. And I mean, great items, Philly cheesesteaks. Look at those giant burgers, wings, fries. They got a little bit of everything, Rick Diesel. That's
Yes.
mighty good. You've had it. What can you tell us?
Well, they're starting to get their stuff back together now. I mean, you know, he's been out a couple times. He's getting ready to start getting more. He's getting ready to start getting more available. You know what I'm saying? So it's the season. That's the one thing I've got a bunch of food trucks lined up behind my house that we're getting ready to start sending them out. And his is first on the list. So he's going out pretty soon, and he's got. I think he said he's working on some new donut flavors this year. So I really don't have a whole lot of information because most stuff I know is the same as last year: Philly cheesesteaks, hamburgers, hot dogs, chicken wings, chicken tenders, and his donut flavors. He's really proud of them.
Yeah, we should be.
Coming up soon, we'll be able to give you more ideas about where he's going to be going. Because, like I said, the season's here. He's Treats is going to be doing a lot of stuff. We're going to be doing a lot of festivals this year. Merle Fest, the Galax Fiddlers Convention, Mount Airy Fiddlers Convention. Good stuff, man, coming up.
Yep, that Galax. Well, Merle Fest is huge.
Yes.
Trista took pictures of that last year, and I didn't realize that many people attended that thing. But yeah, it's a big deal. And Galax Fiddlers Convention. I grew up in Virginia, so I know all about that thing. I mean, it's massive. It's massive. All right, so Rick Diesel, you said that what was that you were telling me that you had an interesting story about that I wanted to, and I've already forgotten. I did really
God.
bang my
Not
head.
the pickle story.
Huh? Yeah, the pickle
Not
story.
The pickle story?
Yeah, the pickle story.
It happened a long time ago during my partaking of the spirits years, you know, when I was in my early 20s, and I went to a party and had too much to drink. And this girl sat on my lap and fed me an entire jar of pickles, and I ain't been able to eat them since.
Like
one
whole,
after another.
Just like pickle spears, or a whole
Whole
deal,
pickles.
a whole jar, like it's like a gallon jug.
Well, it's just, I mean, it's a jar. I mean, I don't know. I just remember I ate a whole jar of pickles sitting, leaning up against the cabinets in somebody's kitchen. And I've hated pickles ever since.
I can't blame you, man. What a traumatic pickle story. Oh Lord.
It was traumatic.
Yeah, and but you know,
that was one of many reasons why I quit drinking.
Yeah, but that wow, because I was thinking at first when you said whole pickles, I was thinking one of those giant gallon jars like Tristan.
No, it's just a regular, like, you know, I have a grocery store pickle jar.
Yeah,
but that's still when there's that many.
Yeah, that's a lot. They were trying to sell down here. I don't know. You don't drink, so you wouldn't see them in the liquor store. But a few years ago, they were selling dill pickles in like moonshine down here. And one of the store managers was telling me he had bought one, and they were going. Him and his brother and some of his other people was going down to Myrtle Beach, and they were saving their jar for then. And when he got back, I asked him, I was like, how's them liquor pickles? And he said, they were fucking terrible. And I was like, That's what I thought. I didn't think that, like, you
Just
know,
that name, Liquor Pickles. Ugh.
well, that's what I called them. They weren't called that. They had a fancy name,
No,
but
that's a name that just makes your stomach turn. Liquor
yeah,
Pickles.
those are two things that do not go together, alcohol.
No, I know that from experience.
Yeah. But if you drink enough vinegar fast enough, it'll make you drunk. But you ain't gonna like the consequences of that. I can promise
No.
you. Because vinegar's gonna come out of the human body one way or the other. At very, very quick speed, one that you probably will not be able to control. Now that we've got everybody ready for supper, yeah, let's take a look at the battle royal from the big show, the anniversary show. We're just gonna talk over this.
Well, and there was guys and gals, as you could see, uh,
Yeah.
from all over the country. Oh, did you see that?
What?
You missed that, didn't you, Matt?
I'm the volume is messing with me here.
Matt Classic took your place. There it went again, Matt. Look at the bottom of the screen.
This thing's got a mind of its own.
Matt Classic took over Matt Carter's position in this as ring announcing, and he was pipped out, buddy. Had his fedora on and everything.
I'm trying to get it to work. It's not cooperating with me. Yeah, it keeps freezing. I don't know what's going on with it.
Well, keep in mind that thing has been downloaded from one computer onto another computer, saved, and then sent to your computers. Ain't no telling how bad it's degraded between now and then, you know?
Yeah, I'm just gonna take my hands off of it and let it go. Yeah, there are girls in this battle royal. Like you,
Yes, there is.
is it one or two girls? I know one, maybe two.
I know of one, possibly two. We'll just put it that way.
Oh Lord. Okay.
And then there's a ninja over on the other side. And you still ain't seen the most important thing run around outside the ring.
What's that, Matt Classic?
No, you just keep watching. There he goes again.
Smiley.
Yes. Smiley came back for the anniversary show.
Oh Lord.
And he looked like a mountain man.
Now, he is a mountain man. He lives up in Sparta, don't he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
has completely embraced it, boy. Beard and all.
Well, yeah, I don't. Smiley didn't ever strike me as somebody who drinks a lot, eats a lot of soup, so he could probably get away with that.
Yeah, I'm sure he can.
There's a lot of guys in here that we're not familiar with because they come from all over the country.
Yes, they call this the Legacy Battle Royal. They have one
Mhm.
every year at the anniversary show. Guys come from all over the country to be a part of it. And they do this match and others, but they do like to get into this match.
Yeah, these battle royals are so dangerous. I'm always worried somebody's going to get hurt.
Well, actually, that happened in this match, and when we get to it right here shortly, I'll show it to you. But as you can also see, the guys, there's two cameras deep running around outside. That's the guys from the new AIWF show across the globe, which, from what I heard, is either already or working on deals to go on TV in New York and Chicago.
Good for them, man. Yeah,
Yes.
that's the two biggest media markets in the country. Well, I mean Los Angeles, but
I try to heavily support these guys. So watch across the globe. It's on YouTube. We show replays on our social medias.
let's look it up on YouTube real quick while we're watching this match. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, though, Rick Diesel.
Now, as you can see right here, Matt, look in your far right corner over there. See the guy in the mask?
Yeah.
I think they call him Roadblock or something like that. Keep an eye on him because he was the near fatality in this match.
Oh wow.
Yes.
I see AIWF across the globe, episode 3 on the AIWF network. So they're pitching it. They want to get it on linear TV though.
Yes, and 3 or 4 is probably the last ones that you'll see on there because I think they're up to like 6 episodes now. But we show them later. Okay, now see the big guy going out of the ring over our far right corner.
Yeah.
See, there he goes.
Oh,
Boom, snapped ankle. It was either snapped or highly sprained.
oh wow. Let's see if we can bring it back. Yep, there it is. Watch it again. Corner. Bam. Oh yeah, he did go down kind of awkward.
Yeah, he went out kind of awkward, and he's I think his foot got caught on the ring apron. Not really sure, but yeah.
Yeah, that was an awkward fall. All
He
right,
come
now,
to day 2 in a cast, so a boot. So,
but he was still walking though. That's good.
well, yeah, kinda.
Was he
More
on
of a
crutches?
waddle, but he was up moving around.
Okay, so he wasn't on crutches or in a wheelchair or nothing.
No wheelchair, but I think he did have crutches.
Oh boy, you can see the referee starting to scatter over there. Uh-oh, Smiley's going to take a look. You know it's serious. Somebody's got to watch the wrestling though. And now they're doing a dance off. Oh God, I hate that kind of shit.
Now the guy in the green, he's a hillbilly. I think he was a part of a group called the Hillbillies.
Mm-hmm.
Now he was a chopper, boy. Go watch. Yeah, this is from the Mid Atlantic episode 488 or something. But this is on the AIWF network on YouTube. You can hear this guy's chops, and look at the crowd, Matt.
Yeah, that's
the
pretty
crowd.
Good. Yeah, decent sized crowd. More than usual, that's for sure.
They love this anniversary show because these guys come from all over.
Yeah, they never know what they're going to see. That's why.
Right.
I think that has a lot to do with. Look, we got a chopping contest going on here. And you can see the various officials and.
Yeah, they're going over and getting him up. He was our near fatality in this match.
Broken ankle, nearly fatality. Oh, Lord. Oh, there we go. All right. And not a referee.
That's all right. Matt Classic's watching.
Yeah, he's watching. He knows who won.
And there they go. They get him out.
Well, there you have it. Wild and woolly fun at the anniversary show. And so
that's one of 28 matches in 2 days. And I will look, I'm gonna give you some breaking news here, Matt.
All right.
Now, it's not set in stone. It's only a suggestion. But I'm pushing this suggestion myself. Personally, I'm on board with it.
Okay.
There is a suggestion out that next year, 34th anniversary goes to 3 nights.
Oh wow.
3-day show, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 1 ticket gets you into all of them.
I mean, it's ambitious.
It saves the show. Saturday night was 4 hours long. Now, you know what that does to fans.
Yeah, and I know what it does to people who have to work on that show too.
Right. So why not? And like I said, this is the rumor I've heard. Now, I do not know. It may not happen. Don't take anything I say and run with it. But the idea is 3 nights. Friday night, have some wrestlers come in, do a few matches, and a Hall of Fame ceremony.
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night, big blowout show. Sunday, have something, you know what I'm saying? Some kind of meet and greet, and then another show. And 1 ticket gets you in.
Yeah. Have a festival weekend out of it,
Yeah, like a festival.
Yeah, and then you guys got those bouncy houses. You could bring those up there and have it a
exactly
party atmosphere, family.
And I know that they're going to. I do know that it is going to be moved a little deeper into March, because of it still gets cold. It was cold this past weekend.
It was still wintertime. I mean, people
right.
forget March. You associate March with spring, but spring is not until the 21st.
Right. So we're thinking about, maybe mid-March.
Yeah.
Because AIWF Mid-Atlantic don't really kick off till 1st of April anyhow. Mm-hmm. So maybe move this show up into mid-March next year where it's a little warmer You can do more things. Maybe we can do some outside stuff and make, like I said, make a festival weekend out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that's just a suggestion I heard over the weekend at this past anniversary show. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. Guaranteed 2 days, but it could be 3 days. And get one ticket, get you into everything. Have a bunch of festivities. Like I said, like Hall of Fame, maybe dinner with the wrestlers, anything. I mean, but there's going to be meetings about it. We've already discussed meetings about what to do next year. That'll start sometime in the fall. So who knows what'll happen next year? It's got so big now.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, 24 matches in 2 days is a lot.
28.
28. Lord have mercy.
28 matches in 2 days.
That's 14 matches on each card if you split it even.
Right.
It's like one of Robbie Stanley's shows.
Think about it. You could have had 3 9-match cards and still had 1 match left over if you'd done 3 nights with 9 matches.
Yeah, that's a lot of matches. When he was reading them off, I was thinking, that's a long show. That's a long show. But good. I'm glad he got to do the ring announcing and all that kind of stuff.
But it was good. The fans enjoyed it. We've heard a lot of good feedback from it. Throw a fan fest in there. Set all these guys up. We got that big tent. We set all the wrestlers under it. They can come out there, and
sell
their gimmicks, have tables everywhere. Shoot, we might bring more than one food truck. Who knows? Let's make a freaking big deal out of it, man. It's the 30+ year anniversary of a wrestling company.
Yeah, and you
got to do big things with it.
Yeah, maybe get the park to schedule a flea market or something along with it too.
Yeah. Get Pepsi and Coors Light to sponsor it.
Boy, if you could wrangle a beer sponsorship, that'd be great. Who's your distributor in Mount Airy? That's who you need to see.
Well, our distributor's out of Winston, so
that's who you need to see. And you might be surprised. I mean, I lived next door to a beer distributor when I was little. Lawrence and Nestor Distributing out of Danville, Virginia. And I lived next to Billy Lawrence. And I was fascinated as a little kid that his job was to fill up his warehouse full of beer, empty it, and then fill it up again. So, and I've never seen that much Stroh's beer anywhere at one time in my life. And I was 6. And I've never seen that much beer in one spot again. That scene in Smokey and the Bandit when they go pick up the beer?
Yeah.
Imagine that times 12.
Oh, God.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of beer. And he was proud of that business, and he should have been. It made him a fortune.
Hey, Matt, keep talking. I got to run in here and tell Ginger something. I'll be right back.
All right. Our low-budget podcast. Sorry. But anyway, we looking forward to coming back to Mount Airy April 5th. And so that's going to be pretty cool. Don't know what's in store for that. Those matches will start coming together in the next few weeks. We are looking forward to seeing some new stars coming into the Mid-Atlantic this year. Some of your familiar faces as well. But, think about independent wrestling at this level. It's okay. All right. I was just explaining to the fans, we're looking forward to maybe seeing some new faces this year in Mount Airy at the Mid-Atlantic. We don't have our heads up our asses at all about who we are. I think we're bigger than our britches or what. We were bragging earlier about 105 promotions globally and everything, but still here in the Mid-Atlantic, it's entry-level independent wrestling. People come here to break into the business. So,
and that's what because we've done everything that anybody else is doing right now, big crowds, big names. We did that 25 years ago. You know that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we don't have to do that no more here in the Mid-Atlantic. We want to be a place where guys can come and learn and hone their craft. And like you said, break in. I know we have carloads coming from all up and down the East Coast in April, May, and June already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that's great. And we bring celebrities in every now and then, as a treat for our fans, but
well, We
Don't
have
really
a
help.
minor celebrity coming in April.
Yeah, Vladimir Kolov, right?
Yeah, Vladimir Kolov.
Yeah, so explain to people, like, remember I told you I was confused. I didn't remember Vladimir. He was not with the Russians and Crockett Promotions.
No, Vladimir was more of an independent. I don't know how many people remember Vladimir, but he, in his younger days and in his peak, him and Nikita looked almost like brothers. I mean, literally, those people at times couldn't tell them apart.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and I got it. Let's see, I got a picture of him here. A promotional picture they sent me. I
But
don't know if you'll be able to see it
he's
again.
retired now, though, right?
Yes. If I can get it to where there it is.
Oh yeah, he and Nikita look very similar in the face.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. But he's coming April 5th, and he's coming because, and when he called me and discussed about coming, I don't know if anybody remembers the Legends of Wrestling board game. It's a board game.
Mm.
It come out several years ago and had all Ric Flair, Andre the Giant, Jake the Snake, all the big names was on it. And I don't even know how you play it. I was going to do some research on it, but he called me not long before this show started. So now they've come out with the second version of that board game, and Vladimir has made it onto the game. Okay. So he's coming to sign some autographs, talk to people, tell them about the game, meet and greet.
That's awesome.
So,
yeah, it'll be fun. Be there April 5th. And
meet Vladimir Kolov.
You know, you were talking about the 105 promotions around the world, but what about the other promotions that sprung up from people who were here in the Mid-Atlantic and went out and started up their own promotion? I mentioned that because I was in Virginia yesterday taking care of some business, and stopped at the Sheets in Ridgeway. And what do I see on the bulletin board back there at the restrooms but an advertisement for Pure Pro Wrestling at the Horse Pasture Fire Department next Saturday.
Jimmy Love, they're doing a Rage in the Cage up there.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. So if you're watching us from back in Henry County, man, yeah, put the family in the station wagon and head on up to Horse Pasture on next Saturday night. They're going to have a wild show up there. And so, yeah, the influence of this promotion is just, stretches. It probably goes farther than we even know or could even think about.
And the NCWA at the end of March is having their Ivan Koloff tournament in Clayton, North Carolina.
Oh, yeah.
And they kind of sprung off of us.
They did. And that's where I got hooked on Zaxby. So,
yes.
Per tradition, fuck you, Lewis. I have lost so much money because of that. But because the reason we say that, Zaxby's, I don't know if they still got the deal with him, but they would come and bring their mobile catering operation, right? So this is not this is not them heating up chicken tenders in the fryer in the microwave. No. They prepared the food fresh there, and the smell would fill up the gym. There's no way you could sit in there and not just be drooling. I mean, it was
that was the NCWA shows at the Clayton Fitness Center. I think it's what is March? It's the last weekend in March. So if you're going to be down around the Raleigh area, go by and check them out. Ivan Koloff Tag Team Tournament. But that was my first experience with Zaxby's. I was like, God, I'd spend so much money at those shows. I had to quit going to them. Then they brought Zaxby's up here not too far from here. Like, there's two of them within 20-minute drive here. So,
yeah,
whatever. I stop whenever I can.
When I moved to Concord and I saw how many Zaxby's were here, I looked at my wife and I was like, oh, this is going to be an issue. But luckily.
Speaking of Concord, did you see where the pictures Trista took her first trip to the Speedway?
No, I didn't see those.
Back about 3 weeks ago, we went to a trade show in one of the towers at the Speedway down there. And she had no idea how big that racetrack was. But, when you go up in a tower, you can go right out there onto the stands. Mm-hmm. And she was like, oh, my God. She had no idea how big that track was.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's her first time seeing it. So, and she took pictures. I thought maybe you'd have seen those pictures. But it was at whatever that tower is. I can't remember the tower.
It's the Smith Tower. It's where the
office we went up in it. It's like the 5th floor, 6th floor, something like that.
Oh, so they took you up to the Speedway Club where they had
Yes, that's
served food.
exactly where we was.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Yeah, it's a good place to have a conference, man. They got good food in there. Oh, you know, we talk about going over there on Friday night. They have unlimited prime rib and crab legs on Friday night over there. All you can eat for like $40.
Wow.
Yeah. The only problem is if you're not a member, you have to wait in line, and that's a pretty. Let me tell you, people like down here like to eat. That's a pretty popular spot on Friday night. Yeah. So I need to check the prices of that again. I'm sure it's gone up again, but
When I was a teenager, I went with somebody to that track, and we got in a van and rode around it.
mhm.
It was bizarre. I think it was my aunt and uncle. Yeah, it was because we was at a car show down there. They'd
Yeah.
done a car show down there, and we got and rode around the track in a van.
Yeah. It's a huge property. I mean,
God, yes.
it's not just that speedway, but the drag strip across the street and the dirt track, all the parking, all the new campgrounds they're developing back behind the speedway that you don't see unless you drive down Moorhead Avenue. And it's like it's Disneyland for car people. I mean, it's what it is.
Well, a lot of people don't, and I had completely forgot, but a lot of people don't realize it that it's not huge fans of that. Is that they could actually do a road course on that thing.
Yes. Yeah.
And you notice it when you're up there, and you're like, what is all those roads going through the center with the turns and stuff in it? That's so they can do a road race on it.
Yeah. Yeah. We go to that road race every year in the fall in October. Yeah. It's pretty cool. Yeah. There's been talk of bringing IndyCar back down here, but I don't think they can get the deal done because they had a bad instance back in the late 90s. They had an IndyCar race on the oval, and one of the Indy cars near the end of the race ended up spinning out and wrecking, and a wheel went into the stands off turn 4 and landed on a mother and son and killed them both. So they're a little hesitant to bring IndyCar back. You can, if you don't believe me, you can find that race on YouTube and watch it. But if you want to see that, but it's so there's a little hesitancy to bring IndyCar back, because of that. But see, they'd be running on the road course this time, and the speeds wouldn't be as high, but they'd
Yeah.
still be pretty high. So
Well,
IndyCar is dangerous.
um, hang on a minute.
Uh-oh. So I'll tell you what.
But now, does Indy does road racing? I thought that was mostly Formula One.
Well, Formula One does all road racing, but IndyCar does a combination of road courses, street courses, and ovals. So they just don't do many ovals. They only do like 2 or 3.
Okay, okay.
But IndyCar.
So when you think Indy, you think the Brickyard.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And that's probably one of the most dangerous races in the world, next to Le Mans or something like that. But it's
Well,
crazy,
there's a
man.
lot of racers that does that, and is it? Ain't there a lot of or there used to be a lot of drivers that would do that, and it's either Daytona or Charlotte. They might have been Charlotte Firecracker. They would do both races in the same day.
Yeah, they let's see. Kyle Larson attempted it last year. He ran Indy and then was going to run the 600, but they had a rain delay at Indy, which caused the race to run about 2 hours longer than normal. So he didn't get down here till after the race started. It's funny, when he got here, they showed his helicopter land and him get out and come inside the speedway on the big screen, and then the sky opened up and the race got rained out. So he's going to attempt it again this year, but this year his priority is going to be on the 600 because that's a points race for a championship that he's running for. So if there's any delay at Indy, he's going to get on the plane and make sure he gets down here before the 600 starts. So yeah, that's not done as much as it used to be done, though. He's the first one to try it, and I think over 10 years. So it's not as common as it used to be.
We have reached the end of my racing knowledge, so I held with you as long as I could, Matt.
That's all right. But anyway, it's a wrestling show anyway, and I need to read our next set of ads here, and as soon as I get to them, I will, and then I'll ask your opinion on some other wrestling related stuff. that you have said on the Facebook portion of this that you don't have time to watch, but I will give you as much detail as I can, and then you can lend us your expertise just
Color commentator. How's that?
from your experience. Yep. All right. It's branch management. Our friends at branch management is starting to warm up. It's time to get your lawn care squared away for this year. Yeah, it's, you need to make those arrangements now. Branch management will give you a free estimate. So if you want your yard to look like it's been taken care of by professionals, well, hire some professionals to take care of it. That's the way you do that. They do pressure washing, general contracting, gutter cleaning, take care of all your lawn care needs. 336-648-2487. That's 336-648-2487. That's branch management. I got to get I need to find a lawn care service that can take care of that lawn that I got to take care of up in Virginia now. So I don't know.
Oh yeah, I bet you do have. That's your whole deal up there now, ain't it?
Yep. I need a lawn care service but branch management ain't gonna go that far, I don't believe. So he's shaking his head. Figured I'd try. T's Treats is a food truck operation out of Mount Airy. We talk about them all the time. We heard us talking about the food truck season's getting ready to go. Best concessions in wrestling. Prove me wrong. You can come see it at any AIWF Mid-Atlantic show, or you can call 336-755-8204 to find out where they're going to be next. What music festival, what tournament, where they're going to be, and festival season is here. Concert season is starting up. Give them a call. Check them out on Facebook at T's Treats. That number again, 336-755-8204. And I mean, just freaking fantastic. Any breaking news or any new items coming from T's Treats that you can tell us about, Rick Diesel?
Lining up festivals, Merle Fest, the food festivals in Galax and Mount Airy, car shows. They don't take the truck to car shows, but they do the concessions up there at Veterans Park. And there's a new thing that we got in the works for this year, but I don't want to get too deep into it. But if we get it all worked out, it's going to be very interesting with these food trucks. But that's just a tease right there. But yeah, T's Treats get ready to kick off. The season's get ready to kick in, and nothing really new, but everything's still so good.
Yeah, man.
And I'm sure she'll come up with something new once she gets into it.
Yeah. It's unbelievable how good the food is on that truck. It's like you would see at a brick and mortar restaurant in a food truck. It's really, really high quality. So be sure and check them out next time you're at a Mid-Atlantic show. If you see that big yellow trailer out and about in Mount Airy, stop by and tell them hello and eat you a hot dog or get some chicken tenders. All right, and last but not least, Secondhand Heroes. These are our friends in Virginia. They operate a comic shop and video game place. It's like Stewart's comic shop on Big Bang Theory if it was good. So,
on steroids.
Yeah, this one's got all that stuff, all your nerd stuff. They say that's where you get your nerd on. They open 7 days a week at 11 a.m. Don't close until the dice stop rolling. They got all kinds of comics, action figures. You see the Funko Pops there. But the main thing they've got gaming space for you. If you want to go up there and play Magic the Gathering with friends or, whatever, D&D, you can do that up there. They've got gaming space for that. But for me, it's the video games. It's those vintage arcade cabinets. Now, they're newly manufactured to look like old time arcade cabinets. So you're not going to have the problems with the stuff not working. There's multiple video games in each cabinet. They've got old Nintendo and Sega Genesis games that you can play up there. They've had a Monday night D&D group. It's probably been going on for 2 years now. And they do host competitions for, tournaments for like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Mario Kart, and Super Smash Brothers. Something for the gaming collector us all. If you want to make arrangements for your game night, call them. 434-317-0121 or shoot them an email with questions at secondhandheroesva@gmail.com. And don't spell out the word second. It's the abbreviation So the number 2ND. N is in Nancy, D is in Daryl. All right, so that's their email address. The best thing to do is just pick up the phone and call them, right? And that way you don't have to sit around and wait for an answer. 434-317-0121. And they are located up in the Lynchburg area. I'm looking for the address, 18184 Leesville Road in Evington, Virginia. So give them a call and make arrangements for you to get your nerd on with our friends at Secondhand Heroes. We still gonna have to make a point, take a field trip up there one day, Rick Diesel.
I know. I'd like to.
Yeah,
I need to.
Looks like a lot of fun up there. So, and we know who runs it. So I mean,
which is another reason why I need to go. But when you get to my age, them trips that takes hours, not minutes, start to hurt.
Yeah, I agree. You know what Jinky put in the car for me just yesterday? One of those cushions like you use in an office chair. She put it in my driver's seat in the car because she noticed that I've been doing all those trips back and forth to Virginia that, I'm like, when I'm driving down the road.
Just be glad it ain't one of those things that has all the little wooden balls on it that they used to have back in the 70s and 80s.
I never thought those were comfortable. I didn't understand why people did that. That made
me neither. They just didn't have another alternative, man.
I'm telling you, you took a nice soft car seat and turned it into something wooden and uncomfortable with those things, those beads, yeah. I think that was just a con job. It's like Trump would say, a scam. They tell you it's comfortable, but the people making it are secretly laughing. Look at these idiots buying this junk. All right. Before we get out of here, Rick Diesel. Oh Lord, the scammers never stop. But anyway, sorry, that was annoying. So the big news in wrestling this week, I'm sure you've heard. So at Elimination Chamber, John Cena switched to evil, and he beat up Cody Rhodes. He punched him in the head a couple of times with his Rolex that Nick Khan gave him that his daddy had to pawn for him to go to acting school. Cracked him across the head twice with the WWE title, all while Travis Scott stood by the ropes and burned sage for some reason. It's a very weird sequence of events. And then John Cena opened him up and made him bleed, choked him with his necktie. Then Travis Scott slapped Cody in the ear, which has done hearing damage. Cody's having some hearing loss because of that. And then they just basically left him in a bloody mess. John Cena has switched to evil. Hustle, loyalty, respect, no more. It looks like the Doctor of Thugonomics is coming back.
Well, first off, I have no idea who Travis Scott is. So there's that. And the second off this is what people's been wanting to see forever.
Yep.
Is bad guy John Cena. But and what better way to go out of the business? I mean, it's just. But I think it puts people on the fence. They all want to see it, but they want to hate him. But now they actually may like him better than they did before. So I don't know. I think putting him with The Rock was smart.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll help. But where do they go from there? I mean, is there anybody else in there with them? Like, again, I don't have time to watch this, man. Even whenever I do wrestling, I make time for the AIWF.
Yeah.
So I don't get to watch it. That's why you, Reagan, and Brian are more the experts on everything outside of here. So who else is with them?
Just Travis Scott. He's a rapper. He's been around for about, I looked him up on Apple Music the other day, and I think his first album came out in 2016. So he's been around for about 10 years. I mean, he's not anybody like when he walked out there, I was like, who is this guy? And my neighbor and his son's like 20 years old, were over here watching with me. And I was like, who is he? And he's like, he's a rapper. And so I went.
Why?
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 Why? What? Why is he a
Why
rapper?
is he there?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they're trying to
Do
get.
they not think Rock and John Cena can pull this off without a celebrity with them? I mean,
Well,
Rock's one of the biggest movie stars in the world.
Brian Last, that does the podcast with Cornette, says that TKO really seems to be leaning into having celebrity participation because of Nick Khan's connections in Hollywood. He thinks it's good to bring celebrities in as often as they can. And they had such good luck with Logan Paul, you know, but everybody ain't Logan Paul. Logan Paul is a world class athlete who works
Yeah.
his ass off on this shit and trains in a jungle in Puerto Rico, to try to be better at this. I mean, he is, and yeah, I mean, you could say, well, he just got famous for social media. Look, I bet you Logan Paul spends more time on his social media. Him and his brother probably spend more time on their social media than you work at your job every day. So don't hate on them because they outwork you, And so I know Logan's obnoxious and everything, but you can't knock his work ethic. But Travis Scott is not Logan Paul. He's not an athlete. He's just a rapper that's like grew up loving wrestling. And yeah, if you want to come hang out, make an appearance in the front row like other celebrities, that's great. But
Don't be throwing punches.
yeah, you don't know what you're doing. You're not trained, and now you've hurt the world champion. And Travis Scott, whether I don't give a shit how famous you are, and you're not famous enough to not get a receipt for that. I can tell you that. So,
Well, I'll tell you something else. I don't care how many concerts he has, how many tens of thousands of people that he draws to his concerts and performs in front of them. When you step inside that ring, it's weird. It does something to you. It makes you nervous, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're reckless.
yeah, and that's what it happened. So, but yeah, it I don't know why Travis was there. I don't know the significance of burning sage. I know that some Native Americans burn sage to ward off evil spirits, but they were the evil spirits. So it didn't make any sense. It's like a vampire, filling up the garlic at a restaurant. I don't cutting up the garlic at a restaurant. It just don't make no sense. And so
I seen clips of it, and none of it made a whole lot of sense to me. That's why I say, why was he there? I'm assuming they're just trying to attract new fans. But I mean,
well, I thought he was smoking weed at first because the first night they had Raw on Netflix, Jey Uso came out with some rapper or some celebrity, and he was puffing on a blunt walking down the aisle. And it was in LA, so it's legal in California, but you're still not supposed to smoke in a crowded building like that. And I was just like, man, they're asking to get cited.
well, are they reaching out to a new fan base? I'm assuming.
I would guess
I mean,
so.
wrestling, you either like it or you don't. You can't just bring people and introduce them to it and them just become big. They either going to like it or not. The wrestling business is over 100 years old.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're trying to introduce it to people who don't know anything about it or have never seen it or don't know it exists.
I think back to the rock and wrestling thing in the 80s with Cyndi Lauper and Captain Lou. Piper and Hogan were mixed up in that. They had the match on MTV, between Piper and Hogan that led up to WrestleMania. And they brought a bunch of celebrities in for that. But those are mainstream celebrities.
And they had their part. They might be a second in the corner, but not really get involved, or Liberace dancing with the Rockettes, or Michael. But you know what I'm saying? Michael Buffer. I mean, they didn't have the celebrities getting in the ring throwing punches and kicks.
No. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they're trying to do. Nick Khan's very connected in Hollywood. So is Ari Emanuel. So, let's see where the new ownership takes us. But I didn't really like The Rock's press conference after. He was clearly drunk. It was completely self-serving. He exposed the business. And I mean, everybody knows what wrestling is. They have the internet. But you don't have to say it on the wrestling promotion's own television program. It's so frustrating to me and don't get me wrong, I've always liked The Rock. always, ever since he started. I didn't like him when he was a putz, but when he joined the Nation of Art Domination and stopped calling himself Rocky Maivia and became just The Rock, he became instantly cool. And I've liked him for all these years. I love his movies. Jungle Cruise was great. You know, but when he does this type of shit, man, it just annoys me to no end. And I just like to be like, if he was standing right here, I'd just be like, Rock, please stop. Just stop.
Well, ain't there a lot of rumors going around Hollywood about how he's getting harder and harder to work with? His attitude's getting bad. His ego's getting out of check.
We've heard those reports that he makes people wait 8, 9 hours for him to show up.
And then
Yeah.
he's got some line of vodka that he's like
Tequila.
required to be on set or something. I don't know.
Tequila.
I think no matter how much he wants to talk about his humble beginnings, I think that he went to Hollywood. He got corrupted like everybody out there. And now I feel like he's going to suffer the consequences. His movies are already going downhill.
Yeah. Well,
And they're few and far between. People's getting where they don't want to work with him. That's why he has so much time to come back to WWE.
well, I didn't go see that last one, the Christmas one, because I'll tell you why. Because the last one, the last movie I saw him in that I liked was the first Jurassic Park sequel.
He was in it?
Yes.
See, I haven't watched no Jurassic Parks.
Yeah, in the first.
Again,
no,
I don't
no,
watch a
not
lot of
Jurassic
movies.
Park. I tell a lie. Not Jurassic Park. Jumanji.
Oh, okay.
He was
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
yeah.
Jumanji sequel, and then they made a sequel to that, and I was just like, no, I'm not doing this. Y'all wrapped the story up nicely in the first movie. I'm not going to see it again. And then I went to see Jungle Cruise because that was Disney. And I know Disney ain't gonna put their name on something if it's complete shit. I mean, sometimes they're not as good as the high standard Disney normally sets, but it was good. But I skipped this last one because that was the one that I heard that he was showing up to the set late and like pissing in bottles and leaving them all over the sound stage, and because he didn't want to take a break to go to the bathroom, so he just turn around and piss in a bottle and give it to Brian Gortz.
I can't remember the last thing he's done that I seen. I
Yeah.
remember watching the Jumanji thing, but that was years ago.
Yeah. It's
So
been several years ago.
I haven't had any interest in him. When as soon as I started hearing the stories of him getting that Hollywood attitude,
Yeah, he's been there too long.
you know how I feel about celebrities in Hollywood. Anyhow, I hate them. I can't stand them.
Yeah. I like the finished product that comes out of Hollywood.
Right.
Great TV shows
Right.
and movies. Yeah, but the people, some of the ways the people act that are in front of the camera and some of them behind the camera are just, they're not worth admiring,
Right. Yeah.
And so, but you know what was cool when I was in Hollywood, when we were riding around Universal, I would wave to just random people that I saw, that are building sets or driving a dump truck or whatever like that. And they'd wave back. You could tell they were stoked. It was like, hey, the tour people are waving.
Well, you're
at me.
also Matt Carter. They may watch the show.
No, I doubt it. But but it was cool, man, because like you really like when Universal behind it, they take you on the studio tour. They're only going to show you what they want you to see. But there's some things they can't control, like a guy driving a dump truck or a guy, working on building a set at the lagoon, or something like that. And you see like there's so many people behind the scenes that are just blue collar working people just like you and me. They get up and bust their ass every day. And those are the people you don't see. But when you see a credit in the movies and it's all those names that take some 6-7 minutes after the movie ends to roll by, that's all the people that worked on those.
Yeah.
And that was really cool to see because that's what I'm interested in. When I went out there, I was like, I want to see the people that put the shit together so they can make all this stuff. Because years ago, we were partying with a band that was opening up for Kenny Wayne Shepherd down in Louisiana. And one of the guys was in the Teamsters out there, did construction. And he was like, if you ever get tired of living on the East Coast, man, you want to come out to Los Angeles, man, I'll get you in the union, man. You can do construction with us. And he said, construction in Hollywood's great, man, because they call you, you go in, you build them something, and then they shoot, and then they want you to tear it down, and you go tear it down, and then somebody else calls you and you go build them something that you get to tear down in a few weeks. He's like, you're constantly working. It never stops. And I was like, wow, okay. But I never went. I never had any desire to go out there except just to visit. But anyway, we're kind of getting away from wrestling. Hollywood's corrupted The Rock, we think. We don't know. We hope not. We hope we can have our
Pretty
Rock.
sure it's corrupting John Cena too. He just ain't got there yet.
Yeah,
or
well,
maybe he has, and the stories hadn't come out.
yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Or John is still remaining humble and just happy. I mean, Peacemaker season 2's on its way, so they've finished,
I like that.
They finished that up, so it's ready to go come out. And Righteous Gemstones is going to have their last season this year. So I know there's no danger of you watching that, Rick Diesel, because it's a Danny McBride show.
Yeah,
that's too bad.
That's a whole nother show, man. Get me off on that, and then I'll be going for days.
I was just saying, you're missing out. It's so much good talent on that show, man, and it's just so wild. I mean, Walton Scoggins is Uncle Baby Billy is just freaking every time he comes on.
Listen, I like him in anything he does.
Yeah, he's good. He really is. He's very inactive, but I think I love him as Uncle Baby Billy more than anything I've ever seen because he's just so outrageous.
Well, I will admit that we tried to watch first season. Ginger wanted to watch. She said, I want to watch that. I'm like, all right, let's do it. I think we got like 2 episodes in, and even she looked at me and said, I'm done.
Yeah, it didn't get going really until about the 4th, 5th episode that first year. I could see why you'd fall off. I didn't like it until they did the flashback episode to 89 when Amy Lee was still alive, and you got to see what their show looked like back in the 80s, and it was so 80s, dude. If you lived, especially 89, 89 was the last year of the 80s, but 89 was also the most 80s year of the 80s, I think. I mean, Neon Pink was everywhere. Taylor Swift's album cover did not lie to you people. It was just like, it looked just like that. All right. Well, Rick Diesel, I think we're about out of topics. You seem to be getting some interesting news on your phone.
Well, it never, as like I said, it's that time of year. It never ends. My phone always rings and somebody needing something, somebody wanting something. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do when I'm dead.
Probably not be as successful. You know, I mean, that's kind of the way it works. But anyway, yeah. So we're going to get out of here, folks. We'll be back with you next week if everything goes
and maybe
good.
Next week, Brian Reagan can be here and you can have better conversations about stuff that I know that I don't keep up with.
Well, I thought we did pretty damn good on the AIWF stuff. You know,
I think we did.
And, you know, and I got sidetracked on Hollywood because I've actually been out there and kind of got a soft spot for it. Smells like pee-pee in the morning, but other than that, well, just stay off Hollywood Boulevard and don't hug Spider-Man. Just don't. He's dirty. He's dirty.
I've been there. I've been to I've seen the Hollywood sign. I've been down Johnny Carson Boulevard. So I've been there 2 or 3 times. So it didn't impress me then. So
well, you were there probably working and
yes,
yeah. So you weren't there visiting Universal Studios and
no, I didn't do the tourist stuff.
Yeah, that's what we did. We had a real good time. Oh, I actually on that Universal store tour, the tram takes you right past where they used to do the Tonight Show when Johnny was doing it. That's the Johnny Carson Theater. It just says on top of it, just big letters, Johnny Carson, still there. And they still use it. I don't know what they shoot in there now, but they're still using it. So that's a perfectly good studio. Anyway, all right. Well, I guess we're going to get out of here. We'll see you next week, wrestling fans, and have more information about the big April 5th show coming up. Be here before you know it. Be back in the swing of things in the Mid-Atlantic. So for Rick Diesel, I'm Matt Carter. We'll see you next time, wrestling fans. And until next week, so long for now.